Welcome back to the medieval content channel. I keep saying about doing live action videos. I'm wearing a headset, of which allows me to record really good audio for the most part. I know my voice is always kind of weird and tend to droll, but uh, in time. But I wanted to discuss sort of a devil's advocate to my previous video, because even though at this point there are things about my perspective that's changed. When I started reenactment, I very much was the fighter. I am a fighter. I come to fight. This is what I'm here to do. This is what I want to progress in and learn, and you'll never perfect it. Anybody that says they've mastered the craft is a liar and probably shouldn't be doing the craft or watching the craft, the movie about witchcraft, which, you know, there was a sequel that I won't watch because sequels these days aren't very good. However, that's how I was introduced to reenactment. Well, I was introduced to a festival setting where it was sold to me as a fight show, chess combat, which is a dime a dozen in Renaissance and medieval festivals. Oddly enough, I don't know if any other kind of themed festival does that. Do any of these Halloween shows do chess matches? Do like little horror chess matches? Does Disney do like Disney chess matches? Do we ever get like a chess match for just like the World War II, World War One, Civil War era reenactment? That'd be kind of amusing, perhaps. Maybe mix it all together. Have what is it called? The Endgame slash Infinity War Marvel situation for all of reenactment. Have from the Roman, no, have it from the Bronze Age out to cyberpunk. Add a little steampunk in there, Do some like League of Legends kind of thing. Stage combat, as it was told to me. As I do this without having had any water, of course, is probably a good reason why I don't do these live. So it was introduced to me as a stage combat show. We were doing a stage combat show for Harry Potter, and they were like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I'm like, sure." Rabble dabble. But it was a stage combat show. Improv, at least by the previous director, was so unimportant and so cast aside. I don't think intentionally or mentally. It is very important. It is, as the previous video described, the most important aspect of what we do. But he was a fight director and now a tremendous actor. Um, Funny enough. So that's kind of how it was sold to me on the tin, right? This is a fight show. You need to perfect fighting, or blah blah blah. Anyway, I was wayward and had no clue of what anything was, who anything was, what was going on, or what I was or doing. It took about 4 years to grasp that, but it was 4 years of trying to understand how to do this. That this was the most important thing to do, to learn, and this was a way for me to get involved in something that I'd always wanted to get involved in after years of watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and wanting to be part of something with people enacting. And so as someone who was one of those people who was I am a fighter, I am here to fight because my improv was not that good. It existed better than some, but was not that good. And the festival setting itself for me is a little awkward. We're basically unpaid employees. Even those that are paid are not paid a living wage or not paid anything worth their time or health. Maybe we should unionize. But it was more important than that, the fighting aspect. So it was tolerable, but it was awkward. basically standing in line like set dressing at Disney, waving and welcoming people in either at the gate or behind, like it was some party city children's show. And I'll do it again for 10 more years, but it's just my feelings, right? And then the parade, which makes you feel like you're in kindergarten being gawked and laughed at by everybody, which I despise. I used to be upset when people skip the parade because, "Oh, this is our obligation." But honestly, next time and forevermore, if you want me in the parade, you better pay me more because I'm not doing that. That's unless I'm a king or someone that unfortunately needs to be there for presence sake, I'm not doing it. So, the there was a concept of this is important, these aspects, the improv, the acting, the festival duties. But it's really just a lot of what is it, 8 or 9 hours of just walking around trying to find something to amuse yourself or others with, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I found my niche of just going into the merchant tents and chilling and hanging out with the merchants in character, and thus interacting with a select number of people within those tents. However, it for the actors, the improvers, it comes natural to them. We have someone on cast that has the same character every year pretty much. She can't be anything else, but she is a master at getting involved with the customers, getting involved with the guests, the patrons, the patrons, whatever you want to call them. And every year, it's okay to cast her as whatever, because even though she's just going to play the same role every year, she 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 can't do anything different. Uh, she's going to be the best person out there with the kids, with the younger people, with the adults, with everybody. And I am inspired by that, and I've tried to do something of that nature, but I can't. I don't care about people enough to be that open or that engaged without being, catty. So fighting always was the niche that appealed to me most. Stage combat, taking techniques from the effect books and trying to work that into stage combat, trying to find the little things that the Joker would say, uh, that helps us move these weapons and armor and clothing and characters in ways that we feel might have actually happened within the context of stage combat. I don't mind if you drop me. I don't mind if you kick me or punch me or slap me or hit me for real. I don't care. Quite honestly, I don't care because to me it feels more real. I like those real moments, but I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with it. They don't want you to touch them, they don't want you to hit them, and that's perfectly valid as well. You're more of a stage combat person, and that is important. So I think the long-winded way about it, the way I feel stage combat might be quote unquote more important, just to tag a name on the title of the video, um, is that it allows you to experience something that's frustrating, experience failure, experience making mistakes, experience something you're never gonna be able to succeed in, experience something that you can literally see and feel progress in. Improv is a roll of the dice. You can be a very good actor. You can be very good at improv. You can get in there and engage and be great at it, but it all depends on personality. It all depends on the audience. With stage combat, From day one until you retire, you can feel the progress. It is you're rolling stones up a hill in Haiti every step of the way, and it's amazing. It whether you're skinny and tiny, or you're large, bulky, or a larger person, it panders to everybody. It is something that is, as I said, rolling a stone up a hill in Haiti. You're struggling every year, every time to do something better, to learn something different, and in doing so and seeing the progress and seeing people come up to you for advice or understanding that, hey, you can finally help someone else, or reaching a point where you don't need a fight because you're comfortable not in your skill level, but you're comfortable helping other people that need it more than you, even though no one's ever going to be a master. I don't think you're ever going to perfect it, but there is a point, like I feel now I could be better used helping people with that lust for the game, with that visible and physical frustration, being like, here, help me guide you. Let me teach you things that I wish somebody had taught me. In our festival setting, we have very little time. And with the previous director, Lovem would take a bullet for him. And this is not his opinion. This is just an outside perspective. But as soon as we stopped doing the training audition weekends, it was like, okay, we need to focus on this now. You're pretty much on your own. So to me, I took that as, if I didn't get a fight, this was my time to get out there and better myself, either by myself or with veterans, with people who knew better, with people who could be critical of me, super critical or gentle. I don't care as long as you're telling the truth. That was a time to exercise your mind, exercise your body, and doing this wonderful craft of stage fighting and trying to understand it, trying to turn the cogs in your mind to grasp the perspective that you need to know why they got a fight and you didn't, to know why this move is done this way and not that way, to understand why the footwork is so important in this aspect and not that, why you can't do this but you can do that, or you can do anything you want so long as you approach it practically in the setting and it is unique but still, again, practical and doesn't hurt anybody. And it is such a minefield of mind expanding, altering experiences that I feel like everybody in reenactment, living history, SEA, LARP, what have you, should at least for 1 or 2 years experience a very rigorous, such as I had, training in fight or stage combat show. You should be required, just as the fighters should be required to do improv and acting. I think the general cast should be required at least once or twice to understand stage combat. Not everybody has the time, not everybody has the body, but there was a year where someone who was clearly did not have the body for it, and was legally blind, still got out there and fought. Still got, well, no, not during show, but during our training and audition weekends, got out there and fought and learned and did their best as they could, because it's an experience. And at the time, some of us may be thinking, the newbies probably, that's not safe. What are we doing here? I think it's pretty safe to say that they should not be fighting. Looking back, it doesn't matter. These are training weekends. We're supposed to go slow, and everybody, absolutely everywhere, should experience what it's like to do stage combat or HEMA or some form of understanding living history slash stage combat physically. So I think to that end, it is one of the more important aspects of reenactment. Recently, I've been thinking about SEA guests that I've had on the podcast quite a bit and their perspective on all of the SEA and how there's so much involved and so much you can do and how it caters to so many people. Whereas a festival setting, it's either improv or stage combat. And stage combat comes with improv, so you may as well do stage combat. The idea of the video is that playing devil's advocate, as I've probably poorly surmised, stage combat is a wonderful experience. It is a very frustrating, but yet because so rewarding experience. And I think everybody should experience that at least for 1 year or two, if not every year. If you're going to do a festival or living history setting or LARP, you should you should engage in stage combat just to get the full perspective, if anything else. So that's it. It's not really a long video. I just kind of wanted to do a little diatribe of getting something out so I can maintain these weekly videos, play devil's advocate with the previous video, because I am a fighter. I don't want to downplay the experience that I've had and the struggles I've gone through and have seen others go through. My frustrations are with people who say, I'm only a fighter and improv is not important. Improv is a waste of time. And I could walk away if I don't get a fight, or I could walk away until I get paid because I'm the best here. You're not. Your fights are boring. Nobody likes your fights. But yet I understand that approach is valid, even though I vehemently disagree with it. That point of view is stupid. You might not be stupid. Um, yeah, Rabble dabble. This is a babbly, bibbity bopping video. Enjoy.